C3. Day 1. First for completion. Did I say I was familiar with it? I was more familiar with being betrayed by patience. Life wasn't a neat give and take, however, it wasn't the case this time. Talent, pay tolerance. The ability to understand will depend on the level willpower. Concentration and mental resistance will slightly increase. Currently, it is level 1. Benefit will open at level 5. It is great to see. I could feel the sweat running down my face, but I smiled as I saw the word patience, willpower and concentration. It was gratifying to see these friends. Mental resistance was slightly weaker. Use the command prompt check talent to show the list of talent that you currently possess. Use the command prompt check ability to show the current capabilities of your abilities. Check patient, then the word cartography and pain tolerance appeared next. Check ability. To be honest, I was anticipating a little bit. It was a numerical measure of my ability, usually called stats in-game. I could check my ability level through subjective metrics. How much would my own abilities be? Anyone who wants to see it at least once. Endurance 11. Decimal points are omitted. Willpower 11. Decimal points are omitted. Wrong? Check ability. Endurance 11. The decimal points are omitted. Willpower 11. Decimal points are omitted. Why were there only 2? The number of human abilities capable of being represented is almost infinite. For the above reasons, the abilities that have a value of 10 or less are omitted. It means that the only ability that exceeded 10 was endurance and willpower. 10. What degree of ability is 10? I receive an answer. For the current human race, the ideal standard for the ability is between 6 and 10. Abilities increase in small quantities in unit below the decimal point. A change to the left or the decimal place is rarely observed outside the dungeon. It is referred as to breathing through the limits. Ah, I couldn't help laughing. I had been a little bit confident. I struggled alone in an unfamiliar environment, entered a good university and was able to achieve my own results. Frankly, it would be a lie if I said I wasn't complacent. I'm obliviously not a genius. But I still thought I was a little more special than ordinary people. I had to like that. Special, or ridiculous. This has been a normal situation, then the mental blow might have been worse. No, I wouldn't have been known this fact if these were random, normal circumstances. But now I was here. Talent. This strange dungeon would give me access to what I didn't have before. If I didn't have it, then I could get it. Cook. I put my strength into the hand holding my bleeding wrist. Endurance and willpower. Those were my 2 advantages. Yes, I could look at it in another manner. I could put my hands on everything. I stared at the section of wrist that was cut off. Pain tolerance, level 1.39 on 100. The pain high hasn't disappeared, rather it seemed to be getting worse than before. However, the feeling returned to other part of my body. If you were hit hard in the stomach, you couldn't think about anything else, and other part of your body couldn't move properly. That was before I received pain tolerance. Now, I still suffered the pain, but the sensation in the another part of my body were different. My body seems to be able to move more easily than usual. The shaking had also stopped to a certain extent. This was how I was able to think about raising my stat. Pain tolerance, 1.51 on 100. Maybe I went crazy due to the pain, only a short time has passed, yet the rise in ability was enormous. My HP bar was almost unchanged. It seemed like the bleeding wasn't as severe as I thought. There is no feeling of death, then I can withstand it. The level of talent has risen. Pain tolerance, level 1 to level 2. Related abilities have increased. That's right. Concentration limit exceeded. Concentration 11. Decimal points are omitted. Concentration in the increase in ability indicated that they were just a little bit below the decimal point. Moreover, the concentration increased from base tolerance. Leveling up had the bed slightly attached. Well, my original concentration must have been around 10, so maybe the decimal point was 10.99. Well, either way, it was in the late tens. Yes, let's just focus on it. I still had 86 health remaining. Level 2 required 100 points, while level 3 needed 200. I had that tugged and opened my eyes. Pain tolerance. Level 2.14 on 200. Wasn't it rising more slowly than before? It might be due to the level up. If I didn't feel the cartography, but I didn't feel the cartography became slower after reaching level 2. The limit has been raised from 100 to 200, so it wasn't right from the rate should reduced. Perhaps, although it has been very painful a while ago, I had now grown accustomed to the sensation. Did the experience slow down because the pain that I felt was lessened? I looked up at the HP bar. My HP was still reducing at a rate of 2 points per minute. The solution was clear. I just didn't know how. I just didn't know if I could put it into action. I raised my body, standing slowly. I turned and faced the wall that I had been leaning against. It took one step back with my left foot, while my right foot was half a step forward. I lifted both arms, while one in the hand and holding a wrist with no hand. My shoulders were in the proper position and I prepared to throw a punch. My cut wrist couldn't form a fist. Truly. Anyone who heard it would be terrified. I honestly admitted, yes, I was completely ruined. Were my legs shaking? This was the craziest thing I could ever do. That time even I rode my dad's bike up a high hill and closed my eyes as I went down. Well, I didn't think it, I was so crazy now. I laughed and punched the wall. Ack! I briefly lost consciousness. Pain tolerance. Level 4.792 on 800. Yes, my mouth could blurry from sounds I used every last strength to raise my head. I was stretched out of the ground. When I looked up, my HP bar was almost empty. Current balance 5 on 121. A bleeding state health which decreased by 2 every minute. I had less than 3 minutes left. It was dangerous. I had to go down the stairs. There was no strength in my legs. My belly was damp. Blood? It was the smell of urine. There was also a lot of it. I gritted my teeth and turned over. I could see both arms in front of me as I crawled. Let's say there was a tree branch. If it was cut with a knife when the section was very neat. Then it was given to an active child. The child played with it, used it to draw a picture, took the sound and took it into the playground. It was used to kill some ants, maybe a few earthworms or mantises as well. Now think about that cut section again. The end of my right arm looked similar. There was no sensation anymore. That's why I stopped gaining experience. How many times had I hit the wall? I remembered exactly 2 times. No, I didn't want to think about it. I hated thinking about it. I wouldn't think about it. Go to the stairs quickly. I used the cut-off section of my wrist as I came and clawed forward slowly. This way was faster. I didn't have any sensation anyway. Current balance 4 on 121. A bleeding state, healed with decrease by every 2 minutes. As I moved forward little by little, I seemed like a bug with no links of legs. What could I do in the future? What was I talking about? My hand will grow again. Current balance 3 on 121. A bleeding state. Health with decrease by 2 every minute. Really? Yes. Current balance 2 on 121. A bleeding state. Health with decreased by 2 every minute. What did someone tell me? I didn't know. I couldn't remember. Mother, why don't we have any money? Current balance 1 on 121. A bleeding state. Health which decreased by 2 every minute. My arm didn't touch the ground, but the air. My upper body tilted forward and I rolled down the stairs. First floor, rich, unique talent has awakened. The first thing I did when I opened my eyes was to touch my right hand. My hand was intact. It was like it had never been severed in the first place. I spent 2 hours just twisting my hands. The right hand was still attached. It was an obvious fact, but I felt so pleased and thankful as I finally realized the value of it. I belatedly realized that I was crying. I dried off my tears and looked at the clock. 8.8 and 18 a.m. That means I had awoken around 6 a.m. I got up from the bed and stretched to loosen my tense muscles. Everything was in the same as it has been before I went to sleep. Not only my right hand, but the small scrape on my body and the dirt and urine on my clothes were all cleaned. Was it cleaned, or I have even been dirty in the first place? The window opened very easily. The morning suddenly spread out, telling me that this moment was reality. I could feel it last night. I could tell if Nasli was real. It was as simple as opening a window. Open my mouth. Check ability. End of chapter 3.